I stood still, not in the outer world, but in consciousness. I closed the door to the facts that once chained me. I turned away from appearances, from what men call reality, and I entered the sacred hall of imagination, where all things are made new. I say to you, welcome to your new reality. It is not waiting for you. It is not approaching you. It is not a reward that will arrive when you are worthy. It is already here at hand, but you must see it not with your outer eyes, but with the inner sight that has shaped every age, every marvel, every miracle. There is no power outside of the imagination of man. Man is all imagination, and God is man and exists in us and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. So I abandoned the tired language of limitation, and I spoke as one who knew. The world was only a shadow of my inward speech, a mirror to the pattern I dared to hold. I do not ask you to fix your life, I ask you to awaken. For nothing is broken in the eternal, only misseen, misunderstood, misimagined. What you see without is what you have believed within. I have walked through poverty, not because I was destined to lack, but because I once dared to believe I lacked. I have known sorrow, not because the world is cruel, but because my inner conversations played the melody of loss. And when I changed those inner murmurs, when I altered the assumptions that shaped my world, the world itself rearranged. Welcome to your new reality, the one you build by daring to feel from the place you long to be. You must learn this truth. You are not the product of circumstances. Circumstances are the offspring of your dominant state. The world responds not to what you do, but to who you are. And who you are is the sum of what you accept as true. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. And so, I made a decision to become disciplined in imagination. For discipline is not constraint, it is liberation. I disciplined my imagination to feel only that which I chose to manifest. I walked as though my wish were fulfilled. I did not try to make it so. I knew it was already so, and the world could only yield. When I spoke to a man of wealth, I did not ask for advice. I asked myself, how would I feel if I were him? And I entered that state, clothed myself in its texture, and felt the peace of it flood my soul. I went to sleep that night not as one who lacks, but as one who has. That is the doorway to your new reality. The sleeping state is not unconsciousness, it is creative surrender. Every night I lay my head not upon the pillow of memory, but upon the cushion of desire fulfilled. I revised my day. Where I failed, I triumphed. Where I was slighted, I was honored. Where I lacked, I was abundant. And what the world called imagination, I knew as law. What they called fantasy, I lived as fact. For the distinction between what is real and what is imagined is not as clear as you might think. The world does not recognize imagination as the cause of events, but I tell you, imagination is the only cause. And so I say again, welcome to your new reality. The old reality will beg for your attention. It will tempt you to explain it, justify it, rehearse it, but you must deny it, not with effort, but with indifference. Do not argue with the facts. Simply replace them. Ignore the signal, and it will fade. Attend to your new world, and it will rise. For what you consent to in imagination, you consent to in life. If you want proof, you shall have it. If you want transformation, it is already yours. All that is required is the daring act of assumption. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not wait for evidence. Evidence will follow. The world cannot argue with a man who is faithful to his vision. It may delay, but it cannot deny. I tell you, the moment you change your concept of self, your entire world changes. No longer the beggar knocking at the door of life, you become the door itself, the access point to every possibility. Do not ask for the path. Walk as though the destination were already reached. Speak from the place you wish to be, and the world will rearrange to echo your tone. There are no accidents. There are no delays. There is only assumption. and its inevitable outpicturing. And if ever doubt creeps in like a thief in the night, revise. Revision is the safeguard of the soul. When the facts seem firm, revise them. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Did someone betray you? Revise it, and in time you will find their heart has changed. Did a door close on you? Revise it, and soon you will find that door open, or better, a greater one appears. I have walked this path, not as a preacher, but as a living testimony. I have seen what others call miracles, and I knew them only as fulfilled assumptions. So I welcome you, not to a religion, not to a philosophy, but to a reality governed by imagination, governed by you. Do not delay. The only thing you ever needed was the courage to begin within, and now that you have, the seed is planted, and the world, that echo of your inner man, must bear fruit. This is only the beginning. Let us go deeper. Let us walk together, not through the valleys of facts, but across the mountaintops of assumption. For I say unto you, you are already that which you seek. The moment you dare to feel it, believe it, become it, you collapse time and space. I speak not in riddles, but in law, immutable, eternal law. You must now understand this with every fiber of your being. Your imagination is God, not a distant deity in the sky, not a force reserved for mystics and saints, but your own wonderful human imagination, that which feels, envisions, selects, and sustains the state of being. Every man lives in a state, whether he knows it or not, a state of wealth or poverty, a state of health or sickness, a state of power or submission. These states are not fixed realities. They are vibrations of consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Now hear me, there is no fiction. That which you imagine, and imagine persistently, becomes fact. It must. It is law. So I ask you, what are you imagining now? Not just in daydreams, but in your habitual reactions, your self-talk, your expectations, for therein lies the seed of your next world. I have tested this, I have lived this, I have taught this, and I have watched men rise from ruin to royalty, from sickness to strength, from obscurity to glory, simply by assuming a new state. Not earning it, not begging for it, but assuming it. The first step is radical, and yet it is the simplest of all. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like if it were already true. Not what you would do, but how you would feel. Anchor yourself in that emotion, that mood, that inner knowing, and dwell there. Abide in it. Let it color your voice, your posture, your walk. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. That is not your domain. Leave the how to the unseen intelligence that obeys your inner vision. Your job is to be it now. Second, you must bring this assumption to sleep, for sleep is the gateway to manifestation. Sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, I said, not because it is poetic, but because it is law. The last thing you feel before sleep sinks deep into your subconscious, which is the womb of creation. If you sleep in lack, you conceive lack. If you sleep in victory, you birth victory. Each night, as the world fades and the mind softens, impress upon it only the end result. Do not concern yourself with intermediate steps. Go straight to the goal. Feel it real, not as a vague hope, but as a present fact. Say inwardly, isn't it wonderful? Let those 3 words become the echo of your soul. Say them before you sleep. Say them when doubt arises. Say them when nothing seems to change, and watch how everything changes. Third, you must live from the end. What do I mean? To live from it is to no longer seek it. You walk in the state as if it were already yours. If you were now the person you desire to be, how would you feel? How would you move? What would no longer concern you? Feel that. And your outer world has no choice but to match it. Let the weak say, I am strong. Not because he feels strong, but because he chooses to declare it as so. And in that declaration, strength rises. You must understand that every outer fact is the result of a former state. The world is always a reflection, never a cause. Do not attempt to fix shadows. Change the light source, your assumption, and the shadow must follow. Do not ask when. Time is an illusion, a servant of imagination. The moment you enter the state, the bridge of incidents begins to form. People, places, and events will appear, seemingly by chance, to move you toward your assumption made manifest. You need not manipulate. You need only remain faithful. There is no need to hustle, to strive, to push. You are not here to force. You are here to imagine. And imagination creates reality. But Neville, they say, what if I can't believe it? Then pretend. For if this assumption persists until it becomes your dominant feeling, it will harden into fact. Even if you do not believe it now, you can act as if, and in time your subconscious accepts it and the outer world bends. Be bold, be consistent, be unwavering. Persistence is the secret, not intensity, not talent, not external validation, just quiet, confident, daily assumption. And when the world shows you the opposite, when the bank account looks empty, the phone remains silent, the door remains closed, do not react. That is the past echoing. Simply return to your state, re-enter it, dwell in it. For that which you persist in imagining, you must experience. You cannot fail unless you stop assuming. And if you fall, revise. Revision is the key to forgiveness. It is the way to rewrite your life without guilt, without shame, without resistance. Every night, revise the day. Where you were rejected, imagine you were accepted. Where you were ignored, imagine you were celebrated. Where you were worried, imagine you were reassured. Change the record, and life must dance to the new song. Now listen to me. You are already free. You are already rich. You are already loved. You are already divine. Your new reality is not in front of you. It is within you. You are not here to find it. You are here to remember it. And when you do, the entire universe conspires to make it so. Hold your vision and do not waver. Walk in faith and do not ask how. Live from the end and let the world catch up. Because your new reality isn't coming. It's already here. And so I say unto you, awaken. Awaken from the dream that you are merely flesh and bone, bound by circumstances, chained to conditions. You are imagination itself, clothed in form, sent here to prove the law by living it. You are not a spectator. You are the author. You do not react to reality. You create it. Let me now give you more steps, not steps in time, but in consciousness. For to manifest deliberately, you must become deliberate in your awareness. And so I give you the formula again, not as theory, but as living practice. Step 1. Define your desire clearly. Do not be vague. Say exactly what you want. Is it wealth? How much? Is it love? With whom? Is it a home? Where is it? Bring it into sharp focus, for a blurred vision creates a blurred life. Step 2. Construct a scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. A single scene, short, vivid, and full of feeling, not the process of getting it, but the end. If you want to be married, imagine wearing the ring. If you want to be promoted, imagine shaking hands with your superior as they congratulate you. If you want to be healthy, imagine someone telling you how radiant you look. Let it be natural. Let it be alive. Step 3. Enter into the scene and make it feel real. Feel it as if you were actually there, not watching it, but living it. Use all your senses, hear the words, feel the touch, smell the air, taste the moment, feel the thrill, the satisfaction, the gratitude. You may say, but Neville, it's only my imagination. And I say to you, what else could it be? All things begin in imagination. The clothes you wear, the room you sit in, the name you answer to, they all began as thoughts. Imagination is the source, and the source is God. Step 4. Repeat this scene until it takes on the tones of reality. Feel it repeatedly, especially as you drift into sleep. Make it your nightly lullaby, for that which you impress upon the subconscious with feeling must be expressed in the outer world. This is the law. As within, so without. As above, so below. There is no other creative force. Step 5. Walk in faith. Do not check the outer world for signs. Do not dig up the seed to see if it is growing. That is doubt, and doubt delays. Instead, carry yourself as though it were already true. Speak differently, think differently, move differently. Let your actions be the echo of your assumption. Step 6, revise and reaffirm. If you slip into the old state, do not worry, do not condemn yourself, simply return. The prodigal son always finds his way home. If something unpleasant happens, revise it. Go back in imagination and change it. For the past too is not fixed. It is memory, and memory is imagination. And if you revise your past, your future must obey. Step 7. Persist until it hardens into fact. This is the final step, and it is eternal. You must persist, not in effort, but in faith. The world will tempt you to return to doubt. It will show you evidence of lack, of fear, of limitation. Ignore it. Look not at the world, but at your vision. Let your imagination be more real than the facts, for the facts are shadows. Your vision is light. Let the world be what it may, but you remain faithful to your assumption. That is the test. That is the crucifixion. And that is also the resurrection. When the feeling becomes natural, when the assumption becomes automatic, when you no longer try to believe, but simply are, then it is done. You have shifted. You are no longer trying to manifest. You have become the manifestation, and the world, obedient and neutral, must mirror your change. Now hear me, for this is the great mystery. The moment you accept your desire as real, it becomes real, not in time, but in truth, not by force, but by law. Time is simply the bridge, the unfolding of your assumption. But if you abandon the assumption, the bridge collapses. If you persist in the assumption, the bridge completes. So I ask you, will you persist? Will you stand firm in the unseen while the seen screams otherwise? Will you hold to your vision like a flame in the storm? Will you die to the old man, the one who begged, doubted, feared, reacted, and rise anew as the one who commands with silence? Because the moment you do, you will find yourself in your new world, a world that matches your inner state, a world where the impossible is natural, where the miraculous is mundane, where you no longer pray for but from, where you no longer ask how, because you are. You are the thing itself. You are the creator in form. You are the word made flesh. You are the cause of all that you experience, and you are free. And now, beloved, welcome to your new reality. Not tomorrow, not after the manifestation arrives, not when your bank account shows the number, not when the partner comes, or the business succeeds, or the healing occurs. Now, because the change has happened within. You have shifted your dwelling place from lack to abundance, from waiting to assuming, from pleading to commanding, from doubting to knowing, and though the world may not yet reflect the fullness of that inner shift, it cannot resist for long. The mirror must yield, the shadow must follow the light, the outer world must bow before the dominion of the inner man. For you have planted the seed in fertile soil, and the harvest is inevitable. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer seek, you summon. You no longer ask for permission to live your dream. You embody it as if it were always yours, because it was, because it is. I have told you from the beginning, all things exist. Nothing is created. Nothing is destroyed. It is all finished. Creation is finished. You do not create the future. You select it. You move through infinite states, infinite versions of self, and the moment you assume a new identity, the world rearranges itself to match that truth. So if you are seeing lack, it is because you have dwelled in lack. If you are seeing delay, it is because you have identified with the one who waits. But now you have changed your address. You have moved into the house of fulfillment. You have stepped into the scene of your answered prayer. You have clothed yourself in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and what once felt far is now near. What once felt impossible is now ordinary. You are the miracle you were waiting for. You are the answered prayer you kept asking for. You are the blessing wrapped in flesh, cloaked in memory, awakening now to your divine origin. So I bid you, walk boldly into your new world, speak as the one who has, think as the one who is, feel as the one who knows, and when the world asks, what happened to you? Smile gently and say, I remembered who I am. Welcome to your new reality. It is done. It is finished. It is yours forever. And let no man, no voice, no condition convince you otherwise. For now you walk not as one who hopes to receive. You walk as one who knows it is already given. No longer shall you measure time by clocks or calendars, but by the expansion of your awareness. For every minute spent in the assumption of your desire is a minute spent living in eternity. As I have told you before, the drama of life is a psychological one. The whole of it is written and produced by your assumptions. This is not poetry, it is law. It is the blueprint of creation. It is the way by which all things appear and all things dissolve. Your assumptions clothe themselves in fact. When you assumed poverty, you wore its garment. When you assumed rejection, the world echoed your own belief. But now you have changed the garment. You wear success like a tailored suit. You wear love as a fragrance. You wear peace as skin. And so the world must comply. As within, so without. As above, so below. As you imagine, so shall it be. This is the eternal covenant between the seen and the unseen, between the soul and the seen, between the imaginal act and the manifested fact. So I tell you, persist, not with effort, but with faith. You need not repeat, grovel, or strive. You need only remain in the end. Live in the feeling that your desire is already yours, and let the bridge of incidents unfold without fear or force. Do not interfere with the how. That is not your concern. Your only task is to feel the end, and remain there. Return to it as often as needed, not as a beggar, but as one who delights in the richness of what already is. For what is real is not what you see. It is what you know before you see it. You do not wait for proof. You are the proof. You carry the evidence within. The inner scene, the imaginal act, is the truest reality. And the world, the outer world, is but your delayed shadow. So walk in that knowing. When others doubt you, remain still. When conditions scream otherwise, smile inwardly. When nothing seems to be happening, rejoice. For you know that all things are working, weaving, aligning to reflect the self you now occupy. For you know that all things are working, weaving, aligning to reflect the self you now occupy. This new reality is not a prize for good behavior. It is not a reward for suffering. It is your inheritance, accessed by imagination, owned by assumption, sustained by faith. And when the harvest comes, as it must, you shall not be surprised. You shall be serene, because you've already lived it 1,000 times in the silence of your mind. You've walked the halls of your dream. You've touched the hand of your lover. You've seen the zeros in your bank. You've heard the applause. You've tasted the victory. You've felt it real, and that is why it came, because you never doubted that it would. You simply allowed the unseen to become seen and the imagined to become fact. And now, let no one take your crown. You have entered the kingdom. You have crossed the veil. You have awakened to the truth that has always waited for you. So go now, not to search for the new world, but to express it, to live it, to reveal it, to be it. And may your life be a song that others hear, a quiet symphony of sovereignty. Let them ask, what changed? And let your silence speak the answer. You remembered, and now you are free. Welcome to your new reality. And so it is. You walk now not as one bound by fate, but as fate's author. You are no longer the character moved by unseen hands. You are the hand, the pen, the author, and the ink. The story you once feared to tell, you now command into being. The shadows of limitation dissolve in the light of your new perception. You do not fight darkness, you illuminate. You do not wrestle with lack. You imagine abundance and let it be so. And so life bows. It cannot argue with one who has remembered their origin. For when you remember that the entire world is your own consciousness pushed out, then nothing outside of you holds dominion. No bank, no boss, no doctor, no judge, no system, no fate can outrun the decree you place upon your inner world. You reign from within. This is the royal road, not paved with gold, but with golden thoughts, not protected by soldiers, but by your steady, unwavering inner vision. The throne of your world is found not on a mountain, but behind closed eyes, in the secret place, in the stillness where you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and dare not betray it. The world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself. Do you understand now? You do not beg the mirror to smile. You smile first. You do not plead for the reflection to change. You change yourself. And so the mirror, that is life, cannot help but reflect it. This is not wishful thinking. This is law, immutable, unchangeable. It works whether you know it or not. But oh, how divine it becomes when you know. Now your life becomes a canvas, not of random brushstrokes, but of chosen ones. Every thought a color, every feeling a texture, every assumption a form. And you are the artist, the alchemist, the divine director. You were not sent here to react. You were sent here to create, not to obey circumstance, but to rewrite it, to stand amidst the ruins and still declare beauty, to face delay and still assume it is done, to walk through the valley and still speak of the mountaintop. This is power, not of muscle or noise, but of imagination under control, stillness clothed in certainty, quiet knowing, unshakable trust in the unseen. For what is unseen is not unreal. It is merely unexpressed, waiting for the breath of assumption, the pulse of faith, the divine act of acceptance. And once accepted, it rushes into view. The world cannot help but yield to one who knows. You do not wish anymore. You know. You do not hope anymore. You assume. You do not wait. You walk in it now. And should the outer world try to contradict you, you will not flinch. You will not panic. You will not surrender your throne for a temporary illusion. You will close your eyes and return to truth, because that is where power lies, not in the noise, not in the storm, not in the crowd's opinion, but in the quiet assumption within you, that it is already done, that you are already who you desire to be, that you already have what your heart longs for. This is not delusion. It is the most accurate form of seeing, for the senses lie, but the imagination tells the truth if you let it speak. Imagination is the way, the truth, the life revealed. So breathe deep and choose again. Choose to see with the inner eye. Choose to feel from the fulfilled state. Choose to dwell in the answer, and you will see that nothing is denied to the one who assumes the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Nothing is locked. Nothing is out of reach. Nothing is too big, too late, too far. All things are possible to the one who dares to believe as if it were already so. And you have dared. You have stepped through the veil. You have left the old man behind. You have risen into the awareness of who you truly are. This is the welcome, not into a new city, not into a new home, but into a new self. The self who knows, the self who reigns, the self who is the reality. The door has opened. Walk boldly now, and now, beloved, you stand at the threshold, not of possibility, but of certainty. The harvest is yours, for you have already sown, not in the soil of the earth, but in the fertile field of imagination, not with effort and struggle, but with the sacred act of inner assumption. You have seen it, you have felt it, and now it must become. For all creation follows consciousness. It obeys not what you do in haste, but what you accept in stillness. So now, release. Let go of how it will come. Let go of when. Let go of the urge to meddle with the seed. For no gardener digs up what he's planted every morning to check its progress. He waters it. He trusts the process. And he lets the sun and soil do their perfect work. And you must do the same. You have imagined, you have assumed, you have felt it real. Now allow the bridge of incidents to unfold. Watch how life rearranges itself for you. Do not panic if nothing appears to change at first. That is only the smoke clearing from the old reality you've just stepped out of. You are not repeating affirmations for results. You are affirming what is already true. You are not visualizing to get something. You are remembering what is yours by divine right. You are not begging a distant power. You are communing with yourself. The God within you is not far off, not separate, not outside of your reach. It is you. It hears you because it is your own awareness. And now it speaks back, not in words, but in forms, in events, in meetings, in sudden favor, in unimaginable ease. That which once felt impossible will soon feel normal, because you are becoming the version of yourself for whom the miracle is mundane. This is your new identity. Walk in it. Do not return to the old ideas, the old doubts, the old smallness. They no longer fit. They no longer serve. They are not who you are. You have been reborn, not by chance, not by ritual, but by consciousness. This is the greatest transformation a man can undergo, to awaken and realize, I am. Not I hope to be, not I'll get there one day, but I am. Say it with me now. I am the source of my reality. I am the operant power. I am the imagination of God. I am the fulfillment I once sought. And because I know it, I walk differently. I speak differently. I expect differently. I no longer pray for miracles. I expect them. Because miracles are simply what happens when the inner man aligns with the truth. And the truth is, all things exist now. You need only assume they are yours. You need only become inwardly the man or woman who already has it, and stay there, persist, rest in it. Let no external fact tempt you to doubt. Let no delay shake your knowing. For your assumption, held without effort, with feeling and faith, is more powerful than the sum of the entire world. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your new life, the one you chose, imagined, and now embody. So go forth, not with fear, but with fire. You are no longer becoming, you are now being. The God you once sought outside, you have remembered within, and now the world must bend, it must shift, it must obey, because you no longer live in reaction, you live in command, and that is the greatest secret ever kept, but not from you, not anymore. You've remembered, and now the universe must remember you. Welcome to your new reality. It has been waiting for you.